refugee looks around him, he hardly recognizes what he sees because he is a man from the past. I am a living witness. You were there when they were killing them. You were there when they disappeared. It was not easy to bear the pain. I understand it hurts. I have suffered what you suffered. I endured the pain that you endured. I believe in God, love, peace, and forgiveness. I have moved on so long now, and so you should. I am a living witness. The war in my country started in 1996 with the Rwandese genocide in '94 that forced a lot of Hutus in my country. The Rwandese government was so threatened by that and thinking that one day the Hutus would go back to Rwanda. So they had a plan of coming into the Congo and push the Hutus away from Rwanda so they would feel safe. I was still a little boy to understand what was going on, but we had a beautiful family. My parents, my mother and father, and my 11 siblings were all together as a family. These Rwandese came and broke into colleges and boarding schools and places and start grabbing young kids, and they finally get to my school. But we looked through the window and children were running up and down just screaming. Once we moved out, we saw a lot of trucks, military trucks, and we jumped the fence and just kept running when other kids were being shot and bullets everywhere. And by the time we get to my house, we found my whole house was vandalized, and there was nobody in the house. We didn't have no choice or anywhere to go, so we ran to a Catholic school, Catholic church. It was a morning service, 5 in the morning. Some women came to pray. We had the door was pushed, and the military entered. And a minute later, they started killing one by one, and all the kids, we couldn't scream, we couldn't do anything, and they killed everybody in the morning service. And seeing all these, the priest at the church was kind of discouraged, and he told us that we can't stay there anymore, or else they'll come back and next time it will be us. And we had to run, and that's how I left Congo entirely with my 4 friends. It took us weeks to get to Tanzania. We got in Tanzania, we kept walking through the forest. We walked weeks and weeks and weeks, and we got separated in Zimbabwe in the forest. I lost one of them again. He died from starvation in the forest of Zimbabwe. When we were drinking water, he just passed away right there. We left him in the forest. And so I had to go continue the journey alone. Once I got interviewed by United Nations and then placed in a refugee camp, a Tongogaro refugee camp in Zimbabwe. It was like a 100 to 200 meters square camp, which had about 500 refugees by then. And people were enclosed in that small camp, and you can't go anywhere. Your whole future is just blocked on that one day that you wake up and start living. Doing soccer in the camp was the only thing that helped us to survive. He forgets all the problems that he had. His whole mind concentrates on that round ball. His all problems goes away, and every part of his body looks at the game. And that's the only problem, the times that you feel happy and joyous. United States of America had to come and get some people out of Zimbabwe. So they looked at my case and accepted me, and they granted me a visa. And they told a lot of my friends where they were going, and some were going to Texas, and oh, I know Texas, and some other were going to Chicago, and I'm like, yeah, that's a good place. And they told me I was going to Idaho. I'm like, I didn't believe, understand, I didn't know he was in America. And I'm like, where is Idaho? My family disappeared, and then I started trying to find them, and then finally I connected with them in Rwanda, and they called me, and that was my first time to talk to my mother, who wouldn't even talk to me because she was so happy. She just screamed on the phone, and I just also couldn't do anything. So it was a great feelings I've ever had in many years, which was my prayer, but I never thought it would ever come true, but it did. People in here have, sometimes people want to make a big impact. They think that helping refugees or helping the situation around the world is, you just need to be a president. You may realize that helping one person, one single person can make a big difference. Like I believe that in the whole world, if every single person cared, no matter you have less or more, and just trying to make a difference, not for yourself, but in somebody's life, the whole world will be safe right now. And today, now, after all, I always look back and say, it wasn't my effort. I could have died, something bad could have happened. But every small instinct of my life was saved by, there was somebody supernatural who led me through every step that I would be here today.